Hello, everyone. Welcome to Eat Well, Be Happy. I'm here with my buddy Robin. I want to know why she's laughing ahead of time. What have we done? We're going to be making 3 wonderful dishes for you that are simple and that you can make yourself at home. And I always think of these 3 as wonderful company dishes. We're going to be making a green potato salad. We're going to be making a salad with asparagus, sugar snap peas, and arugula. And we're going to be making a chicken with kind of tinges of the Far East. So you'll see that when we get there.
Right.
All right, we should start with the green potato salad. And we had 5 pounds of these really lovely little yellow Yukon Gold potatoes, just cut and diced, and covered those with cold water and steamed those for about 20-25 minutes until they were soft.
Right. So you're making potato salad?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because we are making potato salad.
We are making potato salad. And what are you putting in there next, Miss Robin?
Garlic.
What a concept.
I know.
In this kitchen, garlic. Have you ever seen garlic in this kitchen? Oh, ye of little faith. Did you think we weren't going to use garlic for you?
Well, it says 2 garlic cloves.
Yes.
So I think they mean 2.
Large.
2 large. So I'm going to just simulate some large garlic cloves.
All right. And into that salad is also going to go...
Some apple cider vinegar.
Yep. And about 1/3 of a cup, you said?
Yep. About 1/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. And about 1/2 cup of a good olive oil.
Make sure when you're using apple cider vinegar that you're using one that has what they call the mother. So that's the, I always like to think of that as the starter culture for vinegar. And if you're getting a vinegar that's been pasteurized, you ain't got none of that good stuff. So you got a lot of enzymes in here, and you have the good things that help the good bugs in your stomach too. May I put the vinegar in there for you?
Sure.
So 1/3 of a cup, you said?
Yes, please.
Oh. I can smell that vinegar. All right, there's your 1/3 cup of vinegar.
We put these on the warm potatoes, the vinegar on warm potatoes with the garlic, and then I'm going to put about a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper, and that allows the flavors to just infuse while the potatoes are cooling.
And this salad is also going to have some kind of a bunch of cilantro. And it's summertime, I tend to use a lot of cilantro, and then I very often forget about it in wintertime. So maybe there's some seasonality with cilantro. But cilantro also helps stabilize blood sugar. So we're combining that with potatoes that are kind of a high sugar, high starch, high sugar vegetables. So this helps balance it as well as does the good fat. Hey, use a different olive oil.
Okay.
This is a wonderful olive oil, but for a salad and for a finishing oil, I really like an early harvest,
This one?
which has more. Early harvest, if you don't know what it is, they actually pick the olives and press them before they're ripe. So they get much less oil, but it has much more, it has more of a bitter flavor, and it has a lot more of the polyphenols, the antioxidants in olives. So you're getting an olive oil that may be what they call those 3-cough olive oils. So when it hits the back of your throat, you cough because it's so bitter. But on a salad, it's really wonderful. And I always think of those early harvest olive oils as being lovely finishing oils, not something I would saute with or cook with at all.
All right.
How much oregano, darling?
You mean cilantro?
Cilantro, yeah.
Oh, that looks good. Just chop that all up.
Okay, the whole bunch or what I've already chopped?
What do you have?
Okay, so about a cup and a half. And you want me to put that in with the spinach? So we have here about a pound of baby spinach and about a cup of coarsely chopped cilantro.
This is yummy already.
Okay, and we're going to be putting the warm potatoes on there. Anything else that needs to go over that?
Do you want lemon juice on here?
Well, let's taste it without.
Okay.
You can add lemon juice. You can decide not to add lemon juice.
So I'm going to put the warm potatoes on the spinach, and that's going to wilt the spinach a little bit.
Isn't that smelling great? Ooh.
So we have a little dressing in here, and then we're going to toss it all about. And
do the hokey pokey and toss it all about?
Something like that.
All right,
This isn't.
you going to use your hands?
Yeah, I was just.
Okay,
I don't
Robin's going to
think-
use her
I
hands,
don't
and
think
that's
we're
fine.
gonna get too far.
And I'm going to save these stems and things for my smoothie tomorrow morning.
These are whole spinach leaves. You can chop these up to make them a little more bite-sized. But the warm, they will wilt down a little bit. So.
Yeah. And as I say, waste not, want not. And I think we throw away so much food. And there are people who are, I know it doesn't help the person who's hungry if I don't waste my food, but I just want to tread lighter on the planet. So I do want to make sure that you're thinking about that too. All right, little Missy, what's next?
Okay, what are we gonna make next? Do you want to make?
So is this done, you're saying?
This is probably, we'll taste it to see if you want to have lemon juice in there.
Okay.
But I'd like to just mix it a little bit more because the potatoes are heavy in there at the bottom.
Tastes good the way it is. I don't think it needs lemon.
Okay, does it
I don't
need
know
more
what you
salt or
think.
pepper? You think?
You taste it and see what you think. I think it's on the verge, on the line.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to, when in doubt, taste it yourself. If you're not sure, have somebody else taste it too.
Okay.
You gonna taste?
I am.
I want to see what you say.
I tasted the potatoes
And I'm seeing a leaf that didn't get mixed.
See, well, I could be here all show mixing this together to make sure
You'll do it fast. Okay. While Robin is deciding whether that needs a little more salt, potatoes tend to absorb things, but the way we dress them first, it may be enough. But I'd like to know what you think.
Okay, I'll tell you.
And
in a
again,
sec.
good salt. Make sure you're using a good salt. Why? The minerals. All right, while Robin is doing that, and when she's getting ready to give us her verdict,
Look.
a stem, I'm going to start on the chicken. So we're making chicken wings, and this. Oh, let me get those out. Hold on. Again, I like to give shout outs to companies who I think are really doing things the right way and are ahead of the curve and trying to make us all better. So this package says thighs. I have, however, used a party wing today. But I love this company because not only is it organic and not only are they treating their birds correctly, they're certified humane and they're non-GMO, etc. But you notice there's no polystyrene. So they're really trying to package their things with the least amount of waste and the least amount of materials. And it's a delicious chicken. I think the flavor is really good, which shows to me that they're allowing their birds to stretch their wings, to run around, to eat bugs like a chicken should. And they're also, when they feed it, they're feeding it organic feed as well. So I'm sure all around the country you may have wonderful chicken too, but look for one that is packaging it and feeding their chickens well. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay, so you
Yummy.
don't think it needs anything else?
Well, it needed a little salt and pepper, which
You added.
I was doing while you were talking about the chicken.
Okay,
There we go.
so here we are, the schmicken. So we have in here about 2.5 pounds of the wings, and I'm going to use just a little glug. Hand me the oxygen olive oil.
You want this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of my favorites when I'm
Marinating?
When I'm marinating, when I'm going to cook something. So about just 2 tablespoons. And then what else are we going to put in there? We're going to be putting in some lime zest, the zest of 2 limes. Again, in the summertime, I just like more limes and lemons. It just goes with the season somehow. And again, so important to use organic. Citrus is pretty heavily sprayed. It's hard to grow organically, and particularly like this when you're using the skin. If you're not using organic, you're
Just creating pesticides into your food.
all right. Let's cut that in half, Robin, and we're going to squeeze the juice of these 2 limes in there.
Okay.
I have the little.
You have some garlic in here. Do you want that pressed?
Yeah.
Or just, do you want to keep it whole?
Nope, going to press it.
Okay.
I figured you do the limes, we'll divide and conquer.
Well, do you want the garlic pressed then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're in the kitchen, hopefully you're in the kitchen with someone you love and someone you care about, or you're inviting the neighbors over and you're all making dinner together. But
Oops, it's actually working. We should have done this the other way around. Here you go. There's your garlic.
all right. So about 4 good-sized cloves of garlic. If you love garlic, you can use more. If you don't love garlic, leave it out. It's up to you. But garlic is one of those things that is so good for our immune system. And I do remember when I was growing up, if my mother felt she was coming down with something, she would take a piece of dry toast
Okay.
and she would rub into it 8 cloves of fresh garlic
Wow.
and eat it. No one wanted to go around her, but she didn't get sick. So that was one of her homemade
Wow.
remedies. Garlic on toast.
Well, someone else likes garlic.
So I grew up with a lot of garlic in the house, and no,
Okay, that's why. It was running down my wrist. I was wondering.
so the little citrus goes face
Oh,
cut
look at
side down.
that. Works way better.
Okay, Robin, there we go. And we're going to put some about a teaspoon of cumin in there. Cumin again is really good for digestion. And we're going to put some adobo sauce in there. And adobo sauce is made from chipotles, and chipotles are smoked jalapenos. So it adds a really nice flavor to your chicken. And I should have cut those peppers up, and I didn't bother.
Can you do it with your fingers? Will they mush?
I think we'll mush them up if we have a sauce. Let's make sure we have everything in there. So we have our 1/2 cup of fresh lime juice.
I haven't put it in yet.
Oh,
There you go.
good to double check. 1/2 cup of fresh lime juice, the zest for 2 limes, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons about of the chipotle and adobo, 1/2 teaspoon of salt if you want to add the
Sure.
salt, and the ground cumin. And ideally, you want your chicken at room temperature because it absorbs the flavors more. And you would like to let it marinate at least an hour or 2 on your kitchen counter or overnight in the refrigerator. We're doing neither one of those, and I didn't do that yesterday either, and I found it still tastes good. But if you do allow it time, oh, there you can see that little jalapeno. Can you see the shape? There
Oh,
it
I can
is.
smell it.
Yeah. So it does, not meant to be torn up like this by fingers, but it's very flavorful. And you want to put that into a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes. And I'm going to use this little enamel-coated steel paella pan, which I love. If you can bring that over to me a little bit.
Okay, let's swap.
I'm going to pour this in.
Okay.
And then untouched by human hands. When we roast this in the oven, if it doesn't get brown enough for you in the 45 minutes, then just put it under the broiler for a little bit, and it'll be just as good. So then you can get the color in the broiler. Robin is going to put it into the oven.
Here we go.
And take out our other one, and I am going to wash my hands before proceeding.
Okay. Here we go.
On to the next. Whoa!
These smell yummy.
They not only smell yummy, but they are yummy. Here, let's put those right over here.
Okay.
Yum, 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 yum.
There we go. Now we have.
So I cooked this yesterday for about 45 minutes, put it under the broiler for just a couple to give it some color, and now we put it in the oven again just to warm it up for you, because you're coming for lunch. So it did keep overnight in the refrigerator beautifully, and it did warm up in the oven also beautifully.
Okay.
All right, Miss Robin.
Next,
Next.
salad time.
Yeah. We're gonna, I've been playing around with, sometimes you have something in the refrigerator and you just don't know what to do with. So I've been playing around with all kinds of things. These are sugar snaps from my garden. I probably will not have many more since the rabbits have found my vines. And those darn critters, they chewed it off just about 6 inches above the ground.
Oh.
Not enough to, they weren't interested in eating peas. They were just trying to destroy the plants, those critters.
That's always
Okay.
such a sad day.
So we have in here about 2 cups of sugar snap peas, and we're going to use some asparagus as well that we're just going to cut into about 2-inch pieces.
You want like 3 sections?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Again, no perfect, and we have in here about 2 cups of water. And we're just going to steam those for literally a minute or 2. And every time I look at things, I second guess myself. I think, ooh, I should have more. But we're gonna,
No, that'll be fine.
all right, so we're gonna steam those for a minute or 2. Then we're gonna drain them and cool them down.
Okay.
And then we'll add them to our 2 cups of arugula. So let's make the rest of the dressing in the meantime. So
Okay.
we need, where's our garlic press?
The garlic press.
Did you take that away?
No,
Did I take it away? Arugula is one of those bitter salad greens, and anytime you're eating something bitter, of course, you're helping yourself, right?
Right.
Do you love arugula?
I like arugula. I'm actually getting to be more of a fan of bitter things, only for their health benefits.
But you don't like the taste of them?
No, I'm getting used to them.
Getting used to it or like them?
It depends what they are. Some I like and some I'm getting used to.
I mean, this is like kale. We started eating kale because it was good for us. Do we all really love kale? I'm sure there are many people who don't.
Well, I had dandelion greens through the extractor. So I had straight up dandelion,
Extractor, what do you mean?
the juicer, like the
Juicer.
not just the juicer, but the wheatgrass juicer. And that's pretty bitter. So that's what I was talking about, of getting used to that kind of, because that's a rough one.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
When I stopped to think about it the first time, I knew someone the first time they had an avocado, they just thought it was the worst thing they'd ever had, or a papaya, or a mango, or pineapple. We love very often what we're used to, and we're not used to bitter in this country, and we should enjoy it more. It's one of the, 5 or 8 different tastes.
Yeah.
And we need every taste. Our receptors need to acknowledge that. All right, where's our recipe here? So we've
Okay.
got our 2 to 4 cloves of garlic. We're going to do some mint leaves. Do you want to get some of these off here?
Yeah, sure.
So again, these are those weird mint leaves from my garden. And we want to use probably just about a half a cup of mint leaves chopped. And then we're going to use chives, also from the garden. And I love the fact that the chives come up every year all by themselves, again and again and again. You do know chives are part of the onion family, right? But milder tasting, I think. Oh, I'm seeing some little spiders running there. I wonder what they were from.
Well,
Ooh.
something. One of the herbs.
Oh, let's see. I know they say if you eat some bugs, it's just some extra protein. I don't like to go down that route myself. I just haven't gone there. Let's see how these are going. Okay, that's our minute or 2, and I think that's just fine.
Okie dokie.
I'm going to take these and put them in the colander and cool them down.
What kind of mint is this?
I don't know.
It smells a little lemony, actually.
It started out years ago to be a chocolate mint, but I don't think it is anymore.
Do you want me to just throw this in when I'm done?
Yep.
Okay. Are you just gonna chop your chives, or?
You can chop them.
Okay. You want them a little like.
Yeah, and there may be some tough stems, so stay away from those.
Okay, I see them.
Notice I'm just shaking. I'm trying to get all the water out.
And what are you gonna do with your chive blossoms? You're gonna decorate with them, or?
I thought we would. So these are still nice and crisp, bright green. And if I had the time, I'd put them in the refrigerator and chill them, but we don't. So I'm going to try and dry them as best I can and put them in the salad. Yes.
I have a handful of chives.
Ooh.
Coming on over.
There we go.
That's even better.
Okay. And let's put our peas and our asparagus in there.
Okay.
Do we dare put the blossoms in, or are we going to just garnish with those?
Well, you know what? I've never tried them. They look like the clovers that I used to like to pick the little pieces out when I was little.
All right, does look like clover, but not to the rabbits. Okay, so going on, remembering that every day we should eat things that are green, we should eat things that are raw, we should eat things that are steamed. So this salad kind of has all those elements. And we want about a cup of pistachios. I'm going to put about a quarter of a cup in, which is making me nervous because they're going to get wet. So we're going to save the rest for garnish. And we're going to just drizzle on some, let me use this oil. I, at all times, have 3 or 4 bottles of olive oil going at home because I just love the variety. And I figure if I like the variety, if my mind likes the variety, maybe my body does too. So we're going to put just a couple of tablespoons of oil. And I'm going to toss that now. You want to put a little salt and a little pepper in there?
I was going to just ask you if you wanted a little salt and pepper.
Yeah, a little salt and pepper. Just sprinkle it.
Oh, you're going to go pop that on in? And
I just dump. Everybody else takes time putting it on. There she goes.
There you go. I'm learning.
You know why? Why bother to sprinkle if you're going to be mixing it and mixing it well? I do think working with the hands is the best tool because then you can feel if things are mixed, can't you?
Yep. And that worked out well. I thought everything might jump out the side and...
Well, the warmth of the asparagus and the peas is wilting the arugula a little bit.
It smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good. So why do we love pistachios? They have lots of protein. They have lots of good fat. And remember that every cell in our body needs to be coated with good fat or we begin to break down prematurely. And you don't want to break down prematurely. So just remember, fat is not the enemy, nuts are not the enemy. All right, let's just taste. More wilted than I would like. Too salty.
Not really.
Yeah, too salty. Half a teaspoon of salt, not a teaspoon. Want to put the pistachios on top?
Oh, we didn't take into account?
What?
There's salt on the pistachios.
Yeah.
So we'll be careful here. You know what I'm going to do?
What?
Just a little trick. This salt is heavier and it falls to the bottom.
Oh, that's...
It really is. I've learned to make friends with the pistachios and salt.
Oh.
See how nice. Look at that.
Look at that. Hold on. Enough, enough, enough.
Oh, great.
Enough, enough, enough. All right. So this salad, I think, is good enough for company, minus half a teaspoon of salt. Our potato salad is been dressed with both olive oil and has cilantro in there to help stabilize the blood sugar, to slow down that conversion of starch to sugar so that people can eat it more healthfully. We have greens in there as well. That has garlic, What is theme here? We have garlic and everything today. And our chicken, again, is free range, organic, good chicken, healthy. Can you use that sauce and mix it with tofu or mix it just with beans or potatoes or yams? Yes, it would all be good. But can I have you taste that chicken now and tell me what you think?
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. Let's see. Still, it's very hot.
Very hot.
Very, very hot.
Then just take a tiny little piece. Yes? Good?
Yeah.
Even though it didn't marinate overnight at room temperature. All right. I know we're ending early. Robin
Very
and
good.
I have dashed through this. But I would say, if I were serving this as a meal, how would I finish it? I know.
Yum. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. So I would finish this with some organic raspberries or some organic blueberries. And these are lovely organic blueberries. So make sure when you're finishing your meal you have some fruit at the end. Can you have your chocolate? Can you have your ice cream? Can you have your whipped cream? Yeah, but most of the time do fruit because that's better for you. Anything you want to say, honey?
No, but I'm really interested in eating these things because that's delicious, and that's delicious, and that's delicious. And
She
those
thinks
will be
it's delicious, so you come on now too and we'll have lunch together. In any case, we look forward to hearing from you. We want you to not be afraid to go into the kitchen. We want you to invite the neighbors over for dinner. We want you to have your best friends over for dinner. And remember, we want you to eat well and be happy.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Right.